I moved out here to LA when I was 20 years old. Didn't have a game plan, didn't have anything mapped out, had no idea what I was gonna do, how I was gonna go about it. I just knew I was a kid with a dream. I was a boy that wanted to sing and make music. I was already recording my album, and I knew that I wanted to pursue acting one way or another, whether I was in the front as the main character or in the background. And certainly, sure enough, within like 4 or 5 months of being up here, I booked The Prom. I was on The Prom on Netflix with James Gordon, Keegan-Michael Key, Kerry Washington, and you know, a few others. And that was an amazing experience. I'm thankful I'll forever be able to say that was my first real job on set. Everything was so much fun and everybody was so nice, you know, and the production of it all, the fact that they fed us and the fact that you can get paid just for sitting and holding for 8 or 9 hours. As tired as we were, I would not have been mad if we ended up shooting longer than 3 days, but it was a 3-day shoot for us as the extras, and then it was very bittersweet in the end when we wrapped it, and I ended up getting pretty close to a few people on set and became friends and exchanged phone numbers and exchanged Instagrams and all that. And I remember the girl that took me home, me and this other boy, my house was 30 minutes from the set and everything, and she took me home. And I tried to make that the longest 30 minutes of my life because we all knew that that was going to be our last time seeing each other, because unfortunately coronavirus and everything happened and things shut down for a little bit. And none of us knew when we were going to be working again. So I remember trying to just live in the moment and just be in the moment, because when it wrapped, I went the next 3 days dreaming about it. And I just missed it so much. I love acting so much, and it's something I've always wanted to do. So the fact that I did it and it was just so short, I guess you wouldn't understand unless you were an actor and you experienced on set life and getting close to people and working with somebody for so many hours. It's a bittersweet type of thing, but I'm glad I got to experience it. It was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to do it again, hopefully soon. To all my indie artists out there, anybody who is currently on the come up, who's working hard and who's trying to just make it big, just like me, go for it. That's the biggest advice that I can give you. I'm a person, I don't like excuses. I don't feel like sitting around and waiting. So I took it upon myself to shoot the videos myself, record the music on my phone because I didn't have money to go to a real studio. I probably would have went broke if I went to a real studio because the hours I record, oh my God. I didn't have a videographer, I didn't have the right team behind me. I didn't have a marketing team at first. I didn't have editor people and all these people that can do all these fancy things that I can't do, but I still didn't let that hinder me or hold me back. I still took it upon myself to just shoot my own content. Now, would I have loved to have the right team behind me? Absolutely, of course, obviously, but because I didn't, I had to take it upon myself to be my own advocate and just, you know, use what I had. I hated feeling like I claimed to love something so much and to want to be something and do something so much, but not willing to use what I had in the moment already, until I was able to work my way up to getting to, you know, have a professional video done and actually go to a real studio and record my stuff. So that's my biggest advice to my indie artists out there. Just do it, you know what I mean? But your art is your art, your music is your art, and you should love it the way it is, you know what I mean? In the end, you'll see that it's worth it when you just go for it. And then also, you don't want to look back and be regretful and wish woulda, coulda, shoulda, because time goes by fast and it waits for nobody. I've always had this love affair for music. I've never been able to explain it. There was always music playing in my house. I was always very moved and touched by music on a personal level, and I've never been able to explain it, especially when I was a little kid. And I heard music a certain way when I was a certain age, you know what I mean? And even still today, and it makes me feel not just nostalgia, but just personal feelings that I can never put into words. But the only way I can really describe how good music feels to me is, I always tell people, it's like being raped or fucked by a song. Literally, it just takes over your body, and it just literally fucks you from the inside out. And from that point on, it's like, fuck it, nail me to the cross, daddy. I have no words. If you haven't been fucked by a song, you need to try it. I just can't. It's better than the real thing, I'm just saying. I have a very vast taste in music, but I'm definitely an old soul. So I love like Whitney, Mariah, Aaliyah, Destiny's Child, TLC, Bruno Mars, like, you know, that's kind of like, you know, my taste in music, but I love a lot of other stuff too. It's a very intimate thing, and I think it's a beautiful thing too, because, you know, music has saved my life so many times. You know, anytime that I'm feeling down and out, I just put on my headphones and I listen to music and I zone out. Sometimes to the point where it's like nothing else matters, all my problems just disappear. It's always been very healing and therapeutic for me. And I incorporate nostalgia in my music as the main concept for my current album out now, Baby Boy. because I'm, for one, very moved by nostalgia. I feel it all the time, but I also wanted other people to feel nostalgia too. I wanted it to make everybody feel nostalgic in their own way, however it makes you feel nostalgia, however you interpret it. I just think nostalgia is a cool thing. It's a very bittersweet feeling, but I don't know why. I'm just always surrounded by it. It's a daily thing for me, even still now. Dang near a year later after the album even dropped, I feel it all the time. So I wanted to put that in my music, and I might even put it in my later albums down the line. I think it's an interesting feeling to experience, and I want that to be the main feeling that moves people. But the album's very diverse, and I talk about a lot of different things that are personal to me. So yeah, that's that. Living out here in LA, I definitely know I have certain responsibilities, and that I now have to move a certain way. You know, as a young artist and actor coming into the scene, and slowly, you know, on the come up and rising, and as I book more jobs on set, and as I get gigs, and my album does better, and it starts to chart, and the streams go up and all that, you know. But I'm also a very introverted person by heart anyway. I prefer to be recording in the studio, creating the songs versus on stage and, you know, in front of an audience. Even though I love interacting with the audience, and, you know, that also helps build momentum and energy also. But if I had to choose, I prefer the studio. Why do I incorporate Christmas in everything that I do? I just love it. I'm obsessed with it. That's why it's a big part of my life. It brings me great nostalgia, both happy and sad. I'm just a very festive person, and everybody's always like, oh my God, you're so obsessed with Christmas, and how all my banners on my social media, and like my YouTube and my Facebook business page and my Instagram and everything, there's always like, it's like a Christmassy type of thing, even like in the middle of summer, all year round. But like, that's just me. I'm just a very festive person. I've always been like that, and I always will be. And I definitely hope to have a classic Christmas album and a classic Christmas song one day. I hope I can make something that'll be memorable and that can be a part of like Christmas history one day. I would love to do that. I would love to also be a part of many Christmas movies in the future. That's definitely a goal as well. I want to be consistent, book something every year, at least every other year, while, you know, making like Christmas music on the side also. But we'll see. However it happens, I'm happy, just as long as I can keep it a part of my life and entertain my fans while doing it also.